Hi, Rosalind. It's your Grandpa Mark. I want to read you a book today. It's called A Three-Hat Day. Let's take a look inside. R.R. Pottle III loved hats. See, there he is sitting in his easy chair, and he's got a hat on. He loved fur hats, see, right there. And he loved fireman's hats, and he loved felt hats with a feather in the brim, and he loved top hats, and he loved tiny party hats, and he loved silk hats, and he loved straw hats and sailor hats, and berets, even bonnets, and bathing caps, and bowlers. Now, R.R. Pottle was the last of a long line of Pottles. That's his dad. His dad collected canes. See, he's got canes on his arms. He's got canes up here in his bag. Canes here. He's got one in his hand, one under here. And his mother liked umbrellas. Look at all the umbrellas she has. See those? She even has one on her head she's wearing like a cap. Together, his mother and father took long walks in the rain. Is this a good book? Now, R.R. Pottle lived in the Pottle Mansion right here. He was really lonely. He dreamed of meeting his future wife in the rain. He knew that she would be wearing the perfect hat. Now, every morning, when R.R. awoke, the first thing he did, before he polished his glasses, before he combed his mustache and his few strands of hair on his head, even before he yawned, he chose a hat. See, he's picking one out by fishing for it. Well, sometimes, right over here, sometimes when he was feeling sad, he chose two and wore them one on top of the other. One bright, clear morning, R.R. felt so sad, he wore three hats. See? Wearing three hats. Marching down the street, he passed two snakes, right over here, out for a sunny stroll beneath a ginkgo tree. R.R. noticed a cloud hovering just above his head. He passed two bluebirds doing a fancy waltz in midair, right here. Do you see that? R.R. trudged on. The cloud grew bigger and darker. What do you think is going to happen to R.R.? Well, he passed two frogs in a pond, right there, singing a tender duet. R.R. recognized the song. It was Estrelita Be Mine, the love song. R.R.'s shoulders drooped. He heard thunder in the distance. There was only one thing left to do. Right here, he's heading into the store. On such a glum day, with a sigh of relief, he glided through the revolving doors of the largest hat store in town. I'll bet he's going to get a hat. Do you think so? He probably wants to get a brand new hat. Well, look at all the hats. My goodness, there are hats and hats and hats. There were fezzes and face veils And there were tiaras and tam o' shanters. There were sombreros and skull caps, pillboxes and panamas. There were beanies with propellers. There were derbies with green glitter that glowed in the dark. And much, much more. Look at all those hats. Wow, that is exciting. A lot of hats. R.R. began to zigzag in and out among the hats. His spirits rose. He tried on the fez and twirled his mustache. He tried on the derby and struck a devil-may-care pose. He tried on the sombrero and he did a little jig. See that? He's dancing with his sombrero on. The pom-poms hit him in the nose. Suddenly, "What are you doing?" a sharp voice rang out. R.R. was doing a pirouette. An angry saleswoman pointed at him, scowling. "Stop that," she said. Wow, how did R.R. get into trouble? Well, R.R. blinked and shook his head. He thought he hadn't heard right. It was clear she didn't like him. But why? R.R. took off the sombrero, slipped it back on the shelf, and backed away. Tears came to his eyes, and he turned to leave. But just then, a round figure rushed out from behind a curtain. See? Right here. She wore a dress that hung like an apple sack, a lopsided apron, and squeaky shoes. When she saw R.R., she smiled. I wonder why she's so happy to see R.R. Can you think about it? Okay, so it was the sweetest smile he had ever seen. And above the smile was a hat. A perfect hat. Look at that hat. On one side, a seal balanced a shining ball on the tip of its nose. Right up here. Look at that seal. There's a ball. Right there. On the other, a gold bells jangled. See the gold bells? Right there. And a plume so soft and gray as fog graced the peak. "Oh, Isabel," the cross one said, "this little man is messing up our hats. Look, he's wearing 3 of them, one on top of the other." But that little man, thought R.R., squaring his shoulders. But Isabel was still smiling at him. "Why, Ida," she said, "we don't sell sailor hats." And she stepped up to R.R. and gently took off his sailor hat. I wonder why. "And Ida," she said, "we don't sell firemen's helmets." And gently she took off his fireman helmet. "And Ida, dear, we don't sell bathing caps either." And gently she took off R.R.'s bathing cap. See that? "It's clear," said Isabel, balancing on her toes, "that this man is no messer-upper of hats. It's very clear," said she, balancing R.R.'s 3 hats in her arms, "that this man is a lover of hats." And she beamed a big smile. Well, that's kind of fun, isn't it? Yeah. R.R. took off his glasses and polished them with his handkerchief. He cleared his throat. "Shall we go for a walk?" he asked softly. "It's raining, I believe." And he held out his hand. And as they walked, she said, "Yes." Then they passed a pond where 2 frogs sat doing a duet. Isabel recognized the tune. It was "Love, Is That You?" R.R. and Isabel hummed along as they danced down the road. See them dancing here? Right there. Yeah. They're dancing in the rain. Look at that. See? Look at them. Make them dance. Making them dance. That sounds like a lot of fun, dancing in the rain. So, what happened? Well, Isabel and R.R. Pottle III lived ever after in the Pottle Mansion, where R.R. Pottle IV was born. However, R.R. Pottle IV did not like hats. She did not like umbrellas, and canes left her cold. I don't know. This is weird. What do you think R.R. Pottle IV likes? Well, here you go. R.R. Pottle IV loved shoes. She loves shoes. Look at all those shoes. There's shoes. She's even wearing shoes on her head. And shoes in her arms. And shoes all around. R.R. Pottle IV loved shoes. But of course that is another story. This was your Grandpa Mark telling you a little story about a 3-hat day. I love you, Rosalind. Have fun today. Bye-bye.